Welcome back. You're watching the Urban Debate. Proceedings in the Bombay High Court today could be read as something of a victory for those of us who have been battling for the people who live in Mahul. Just to bring you up to speed with everything that has happened so far, you remember that these people were moved by the Maharashtra government into housing that is so close to the refineries and chemical factories that all of them, including their little children, got very sick. On a long campaign with many appeals to the state government to move them out of there fell completely on deaf ears, the people then approached the Bombay High Court. The High Court asked the government for several answers and then, at some point last year, instructed the government to pay these people rent so they can live elsewhere. The Maharashtra government appealed to the Supreme Court against these sick little babies. The Supreme Court dismissed that case and now it is back with the Bombay High Court. The Bombay High Court, in its latest hearing, had asked the government to provide a comparative study of the pollution over the last 4 years because the government of Maharashtra had argued that the air quality was actually getting better. The Bombay High Court judge, in a hearing today on that Mahul case, observed that the air quality in Mahul seems to have only deteriorated in the last 4 years. And while the state is taking its own time, the people are dying. The judge concluded this after a comparative analysis of air quality reports from the area were handed over to the court over the last 4 years. Now, Mirror Now has been in a campaign for the last 2 years, campaigning for the right to life for these citizens in India's toxic hell. These residents relocated here by the state have been forced to simply breathe this toxic air because they are poor. While the Bombay High Court now has reserved its judgment, which basically means it has made up its mind and it will now give its order, maybe tomorrow or maybe in a couple of days. Just the observations we heard today suggest that maybe there's good news in store. My colleague Disha Shah, who's been tracking this story for so many months now, diligently was in court again today. Disha, when are we likely to hear that order from the court?
Well, that's right, Faye. Today, of course, you can say that it can be some sort of relief for at least 30,000 residents here in Mahul. They have been staying here for 2 long years because the Bombay High Court very categorically concluded the entire case, saying that no more arguments are really needed. The arguments conclude in this entire case. No more clarifications are really needed. The Bombay High Court really wanted to see that whether the air quality has really deteriorated or improved over the last 4 years after the NGT order really came into picture in 2015. The comparative analysis were done both by the state government and the residents in concern of all the survey reports that have been done by different agencies, be it NIRI, be it KEM, be it IIT Bombay recently. All of these reports were surveyed by both the residents and the state government in concern, and a comparative analysis were put out. They were presented in front of the court and the judge took really half an hour. He went and he studied all of the analysis that were being done. And then he came to a conclusion that the state government has been claiming all of this while that pollution has indeed been improved here in Mahul. But that does not seem to be the case. The judge went on to say that the picture doesn't seem to be rosy at all. And we can see the analysis since 2015 to 2019 that the quality of air has only been deteriorated. This, of course, seems to be a major development in this case, Faye, because 2 years back and forth, the residents here in concern, we are at Mahul, and you can see the faces of these residents. They are waiting for a decision now from the Bombay High Court, because now the court has really reserved this for final judgment, which essentially means that tomorrow or in the couple of days, the order will directly be pronounced. So now it's the time of decision. Be it rent of 15,000 rupees along with the security deposit, or be it alternate accommodation, that is now up to the court to decide. But we will speak, we will get at least 3 to 4 voices because they are the ones who are battling it on the ground level. Faye, आप बताइए, आज जो है कोर्ट ने बोला कोई अभी हमको ज़रूरत नहीं है और क्लैरिफिकेशंस की, हियरिंग की अभी कोई सुनवाई नहीं होगी, अब जो होगा फैसला होगा. आप बताइए, आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं इसके ऊपर?
सही आज जो आर्ग्यूमेंट हुआ है या जो भी अपने चीफ जस्टिस ने कहा है वो सही बात है, क्योंकि अब मतलब देखने के लिए कुछ बाकी ही नहीं है। ये जो इनकी ही संस्थाएं है जो इनके अंदर ही काम करती है, उनके सारे रिपोर्ट से जो इनको नकार रहे हैं, और आज जज ने जब पूरा एनालिसिस किया तो एयर क्वालिटी में 4 साल में नहीं हुआ है। तो मैं ये कहूँगी कि ये जो सारी बाकी जो चूहे बिल्ली का जो खेल खेल रही है पिछले 2 साल से, दुख की बात तो ये है कि ये जनता का मतलब संवेदनशील है, जनता के प्रति काम करते हैं। हमारे सीएम जो अभी मुख्यमंत्री जो जनादेश यात्रा के लिए घूम रहे हैं और लोगों को ये बोल रहे कि हमें आपकी कदर है, तो इस तरह की कदर मत कीजिए। जिंदगी बख्शी है लोगों को, और घर देने का अभी काम शुरू करना चाहिए। इन्होंने यहाँ वहाँ भागने से अच्छा है दे हैव टू स्टार्ट देयर वर्क।
We also have a lady who has been diagnosed with TB. In fact, she was the first lady who we had spoken to 2 years ago. Let's even speak to her. आप बताइए, 2 साल पहले भी हमने आपसे बात की थी, आपको TB जो है वो डिटेक्ट हुआ है। 2 साल में आपकी सिचुएशन कैसी रही है, मतलब आपको तबीयत कैसी रही है आपकी, बिकॉज आप माहौल में ही रह रहे हैं। आप आज का जो कोर्ट का फैसला है आप उससे खुश है, क्योंकि अब जो है शायद से आप निकल पाएँ जो भी कोर्ट का फैसला हो।
खुश तो हूँ, लेकिन जब यहाँ से निकल जाऊँगी तभी खुश होंगी, क्योंकि पहले तो ठीक भी थी और अभी भी ठीक ही नहीं हूँ। है बस ऐसे ही चल रहा है जैसा चला रहे। बस भगवान से यही दुआ है कि बस जल्दी से जल्द हमको यहाँ से निकाल दे बस।
So, here, Faye, there are residents who are quite hopeful with what the Bombay High Court will really come up with any decision, because even today the state government did ask for some more time, but definitely the Bombay High Court denied giving more time and said that now it is up to the court to decide, and they will do so directly with a decision maybe tomorrow or next week, or whenever the court really decides on this matter.
All right, Tisha, obviously for the people there, it has been a long, long fight for some sort of justice, and you have also been a champion for them. So thank you for the dedicated work that you have been doing specifically with this story. Joining me right now on this conversation, Bilal Khan of the Ghar Bachao Ghar Banao Andolan, who has been helping these people from Mahul with their case in court, and Shaina NC, the spokesperson of the BJP. Bilal, I understand you were in court as well today. Do you see the observations of the court today as a victory of some sort, or are you still, waiting to hear what the actual order will be?
Yes, court has been sensitive since day one, and even today the court was of the pointed out how the reports have been against the Mahul and against the air quality, and not suitable for human habitation. But what is and we are hopeful that we will get justice from the court. But unfortunately, whatever the court decides doesn't get delivered on the ground. People have to. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello?
you are. We're listening to you. Go ahead, please.
I think I'm cut. Oh, okay. So what is sad is that these judgments don't get delivered at the ground. People still wait for them to get implemented. And by the time they get implemented, government decide to go to Supreme Court, get it entangled in another judicial procedure. And we have come to know that the BMC has already gone to Supreme Court to challenge the interim order that the current bench of the High Court had passed against habitation in Mahul. Which the court is also very disappointed at the behavior of the government, and I fail to understand what kind of government is this. They are not even respecting the reports of their own agencies. The Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, and in his latest report, has said that they should not be the government should not allow or encourage any residential complexes near the or in close proximity to the industrial area. And they have even suggested to have a minimum distance of 800 meter from the industrial area. But the current distance between industrial area and residential area in Mahul is just 15 meter, which is separated by a 15-meter wide road. And you see, the life is so pathetic, has become so pathetic. Now almost everybody in Mahul is suffering from one or the other critical disease. And it's a population of economically weaker section. the maximum earning monthly income in this community is 15 to 20,000. And I keep meeting people. I keep going to house every day, meet people, try to help them, and I keep coming across cases where people have to. It become very difficult choice for them to decide whether they should spend money on their treatment or take care of their monthly expenses of which include their education of their children and their daily chores. So, and people, I met a lady who has to spend 10,000 a month, whereas her monthly, she's a cancer patient. She got diagnosed with cancer after she got shifted in Mahul after 6 months of shifting in Mahul, and her monthly income is 9,000. She has to spend 10,000 per month for her treatment. And now she is relying on the jewelry she has mortgaged with the lenders for her daily and this treatment. So that's the situation in Mahul, and the government is still hell bent on making people live there and die and rot.
Right. Let me just go across to Shaina and see of the BJP. Shaina ji, will the state government of Maharashtra follow the orders of the Bombay High Court, or will there be an appeal made to the Supreme Court if this order doesn't go in your favor?
So, Faye, I couldn't hear the first part of your debate at all. Your audio only came up just about a minute ago. But I do want to say that please appreciate two facts. One is I speak as a citizen, and I have always come on the Mahul debate, despite the fact that I know that there is an outrage, and rightly so. The constituency that I represent here in South Mumbai, Bhaikla, also has 3 buildings at Tadwadi where people have been shifted to Mahul. They too are inconvenienced every day. They request us, please speak to the state government so that we don't have to commute such long distances, the epidemics that our children have. And it's not as if the state government is not sensitive towards this cause. I wish that since this matter is sub judice, that the honorable courts had come out with a decision today. Having said that, the fact that it has deferred is not something that we are going to take lying down. We would want a solution. The state government did wait for an IIT report, which was obviously delayed, and we do know the kind of systemic problems when it comes to rehousing. I'm not even getting into the technicalities of legal homes, illegal homes, all of that. The larger issue is respecting life and realizing that every Mumbaikar needs to be given good air without breathing this toxic air which has caused so many epidemics, as the KEM report has suggested. If you ask me honestly, is there an overnight solution? There isn't. But I'm sure a lot of us in public life will continue to take the questions that you raise on Mirror Now to our state government, to our chief minister, going for a faster process so that not just rehoused but moved out of there, and all kinds of fuel emission from these industries are not just continuing the way they are, but put to an end once and for all. So if you ask me what the state government will do, I can only reply once the final decision from the Mumbai High Court is out in the public domain.
Bilal, you had something to say? Go ahead.
No, it's a lie what she is saying, that there is no overnight solution. The High Court gave several occasions to the government to find out solution, even suggested to consult with us. When the government failed to do that, the court gave them the solution, whether you accommodate them in the more than 70,000 PAP tenement that are lying and meant only for slum dwellers, or pay them enough rent, which the government still did not accept and went to the Supreme Court to challenge it. She is trying to just mislead the public and their government trying to mislead the court. That's it. They are just running the false propaganda. That nothing. They're not at all concerned about the people who are dying there.
Well, we've registered what the High Court has said, and just to remind our viewers,
there are a number of solutions.
Yes, just to remind our viewers, the Bombay High Court today observed that the air quality in Mahul, as we have been pointing out for the last 2 years on this channel, has been deteriorating every day for the last 4 years. The Bombay High Court has also observed that the state government keeps dragging its feet, and while it drags its feet, people are dying. Something that we've again been saying for the last 2 years. So the court has now reserved its judgment. We're hoping for a judgment maybe tomorrow or early next week. And we hope also that when the judgment comes, the Maharashtra government will follow that judgment and not appeal against it one more time in the Supreme Court. The people of Mahul need to be moved out so that they don't die. It's as simple as that. We will bring you the outcome of and the order of the Bombay High Court as soon as we have it over the next couple of days. The other story that should be very important to all of us. The law student who accused former Union Minister and senior BJP leader Chinmayanad of harassment and rape is now left running pillar to post for justice. The law student has accused Chinmayanand of repeatedly raping her for over a year, and she is now demanded to know why the UP police has not arrested him 23 days after she filed her FIR and 3 days after she gave her testimony to the magistrate. The special investigative team has questioned the former MP twice. Before, the VVIP rape accused claimed to suffer uneasiness in his chest. He has now been hospitalized, and photographs of him getting treatment have been released widely to the media. Meanwhile, the father of the victim has accused the police of deliberately leaking video clips handed over by the girl to the SIT as evidence simply to embarrass her. Now remember, revealing the identity of a rape victim is prohibited by the law. Chinmayanand's lawyer, on the other hand, claims he has a video of the same young woman and her friends discussing a plan to blackmail Chinmayanand. As the case gets murkier, the SIT, who is yet to take any action, claims that this is a malicious media trial that is underway right now, somehow in an attempt to derail the case. This evening, we're going to ask a very simple question. As per the law and where it stands, should Chinmayanand have been arrested already? Is the UP police following the law? My colleague Alok is standing by right now. Alok, tell us what the SIT has said so far. What are their excuses at this point for not arresting Chinmayanand?
Well, Faye, in fact, this case has, getting murkier. In fact, there are two versions and there are two, in fact, sides of this case. One is the case against the law student, and there is another case against Chinmayanand. Remember, this case came into the media on 24th of August when the girl came with the video, and in fact she leveled several charges. On Sunday, this Sunday, in fact, she recorded her statement before the SIT, and interestingly, on the same day in the evening, Chinmayanand got admitted in the hospital. However, he is still under observation with the doctors. If you go by the facts of this case, according to the girls' family members, they have submitted there are videos and there is a pen drive which containing videos of Chinmayanand in which he is taking massage from the women to the police. And in fact, the Chinmayanand also submitted a video in which the girl is seen talking to his friends. So police is saying that they have to investigate both the angles. So they are taking the version, they are taking the explanation from both the sides, and they have already, in fact, recorded statements of around 25 people that is connected to this case. That includes rape victim's friend, as well as Chinmayanand, as well as Chinmayanand's associates. So on 23rd of September, Faye, in fact, that is the important day, and on that day, what the SIT says that they have to submit the status report of this case. And in fact, in the cases like this, in the previous cases like this, we have seen that if the girl or the rape victim has given the statement before the magistrate, in those cases, usually police arrest the accused persons. But in this case, that has not yet done. So that is what the question is. But if we go by the police and the SIT members, they are saying that on 23rd of September, they will submit the status report of this case, and whatever the court will decide, they will further proceed into this whole investigation.
All right, Alok, thank you for that update. So fundamentally, it boils down to this. While the SIT, or the Special Investigative Team, has said that they want to look into all of the evidence, they want to meet all of the witnesses, they're waiting for the forensic report on the videos that have been handed to them by the victim. The question is that how the law operates specifically when it comes to rape, when it comes to intimidation, and when it comes to possible destruction of evidence. Joining me on this conversation, Abhishek Mishra for the BJP, Yogita Bain, a social activist, A.L. Banerjee, former DGP Uttar Pradesh, and Mr. Shahjahanpur Pradhan is a senior journalist. Mr. Banerjee, good evening. My question comes straight to you. This is what we understand so far from the case, that the young lady has accused Chinmayanand of raping her and many other girls repeatedly over the course of at least a year. She has deposed before the magistrate. She has given her testimony. She has also handed over video clips to the police as evidence. Now, in spite of all of this, Chinmayanand has not been taken into custody at all. Is this how the law ought to function?
Faye, this is a very different case. This is a unique case because in this case, the victim was called by the two judges of the Supreme Court and given a hearing separately in camera. What transpired there, we don't know. Nobody knows other than these three people. Then order emanated from the Supreme Court which said an SIT should be constituted and it should go into both the cases. That is what an SIT was constituted, and then this particular SIT is under the supervision and moderation of the High Court. The High Court is looking into it. That is part one of this. The other part is that the victim has given a statement before a magistrate. She's been examined by the SIT, which the local police has nothing to do with. It is a separate body which is directly reporting to the High Court, and the High Court is being supervised by the Supreme Court. So here is an issue where this SIT has to decide, taking into consideration everything, including the evidence available, including the statements given by the victims and the others, whoever are involved, and also going after the forensics. Now, you see, the point is what the SIT chief has said in his statement is that he is given the videos which have been given to him for a forensic test. Until and unless those come, maybe certain things cannot be deduced and deducted. Therefore, taking and moreover arresting. Now, let us talk about the law as far as arrest is concerned. Arrest depends upon the investigating officer. It is his discretion. When, where, how will the arrest take place? And moreover, the CRPC is very clear. You get a sufficient amount of time to investigate a case. You need not arrest today so that because immediately after arrest, thereafter you will have to file a charge sheet. So for a good investigation, it maybe the SIT has decided not to go ahead because they don't have sufficient evidence to arrest. Moreover, remember one thing, we don't know what the SIT is doing. They are investigating. They have certain evidence. Here is a lady victim who's saying that this thing has happened. They will be submitting their report to the High Court on 23rd. Let's wait for the 23rd. Why preempt what is happening?
Okay. Mr. Shahjahanpur Pradhan joins us right now. He's a senior journalist based out of Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Pradhan, do you agree with Mr. Banerjee?
Yeah. Well, what Mr. Banerjee is saying is straight out of the textbook. It is very, very theoretical. I'm sure he knows that being a police officer, he is holding a brief for the SIT and going into all the nitty-gritties of what the ground reality is, that this reflects the double standards of the police. That, they would they do it? Would Mr. Banerjee answer my question? Would they do it in the case of an ordinary man? No. This is because he is a VIP protected by the ruling dispensation, to whom patronage is being extended. Who doesn't know that in a case like this, the police is helping him all along? Anybody else would have been behind bars by now, because the new the rape law clearly says that if a complaint is made, if an FIR is lodged, the next thing is that person should be arrested. Why should you take 23 days? You are giving him more and more time to fabricate evidence in his defense, which is what he's doing. The alibi that is being built in the name of this false complaint, the other counter FIR, which says that the girl is, cooking up a conspiracy malign this man. What more evidence do you need than this video that was going viral about this man getting himself massaged by women? Isn't that enough reason to at least you can obviously you can't turn your blind eye to this, what kind of a man he is. And going into the background of there have been number of cases like this, under the garb of under the saffron garb, how these people, some of these swamis have been behaving. You have this Asharam Bapu, you have Ram Rahim, and so many others. Why should you, this clearly shows the which way the wind is blowing. The SIT is the way SIT is working. It clearly says, and if somebody can't see it, I mean, I pity the person's objectivity, and I doubt the person's objectivity, and I pity the person's intellect if he can't see what is happening behind the scenes. The man is being shown this is just an ECG which is being done, which you can hire any doctor to come to your place and do an ECG. And for a 72-year-old man, you will certainly find a couple of loopholes which can give you which can help to build this impression, oh, I'm not well. And in most VIP cases, this is what happens. When the guy knows that the arrest may be becoming imminent, they all go to the hospital. They suddenly fall ill.
And I have with me Yogita Bayana. Yogita Bayana was among those people who battled very hard post the Nirbhaya case to have stringent rape laws in the country. And the stringent rape law as it stands right now, like Mr. Pradhan pointed out, says very clearly when there is a case of rape that has been registered, the individual has to be arrested immediately. Yogita, as Mr. Banerjee was explaining to us that this is a different case and we have to wait for the investigation to be complete and handed over to the High Court on the 23rd. Go ahead.
Yes, Faye, it is a different case. No, we have to give him a benefit of doubt because he is high and mighty, he is powerful. So that is why we are, even the law is not taken into account. Even the procedure. SOP is that the onus is on the criminal to prove that he is innocent. And in particular, after Nirbhaya, post-Nirbhaya reforms, we fought for it. And what is happening on ground is so disappointing that this girl, poor girl has been, for 23 days have been nightmares for her. I have been talking to the family. I have been talking to the father of the girl every day almost. And they are frightful. They are actually living in danger. They are going into a lot of pressure. So, see the irony here, it is, still we are talking like that, it's total melodrama this guy is doing, that he is going to the hospital for checkup. This is complete, mockery of our faith in our system, and as citizen, again, very disappointing. People say that we activists, we sound negative, but this is the reality. Look at what is happening on ground. Look how much struggle the family is making to protect themselves. They are not even, they are feeling fearful to even commute to Delhi. They think that they'll be killed. This is the situation. This is the condition. And I mean, if somebody is defending like Mr. Banerjee, I mean, I feel sorry for him for being so ignorant, or maybe being so succumb to power. I don't know what to say.
Well, Abhishek Mishra is with us right now of the BJP. Mr. Mishra, just straightforward question to you. Is Chinmayanand still a member of the BJP?
I think that should be asked to the state president of Uttar Pradesh, the new Sajta Abhiyan. So the person having data of the Sajta Abhiyan, he comes from Uttar Pradesh. So definitely they'll have the data. The Sajta Prabhari of Uttar Pradesh.
No,
Uttar Pradesh BJP. Yeah.
So you came into the studio today to have a conversation.
I came to conversation about the case.
About the case.
Chinmayanand has been a former union minister. Okay, and
one second.
He has been a member of parliament of Bharatiya Janata Party.
You've come in as a representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party. You don't know whether this man is a member of your party or not.
What I'm saying is, he has been a former union minister. He has been a member of parliament. And if you ask me exactly as of today, his membership status, he is not been expelled from the party. But you're asking what is the exact status, you should ask the Sasta Prabhari Uttar Pradesh. If you come to asking about a case, I can answer. If you ask me,
how? But you're not the investigating officer. You are a representative of the
Yeah,
BJP.
from the
I want
BJP
to
I'm
understand his membership with the BJP. I'm asking you, in
yeah,
fact,
he
the
has,
most
I'm
pointed
repeating
question.
what the third time. He has been a former
Would you
union
be able
minister.
to check and
He has
tell me?
been a member of parliament of the
Would
party.
you be able to check with your colleagues and tell us?
But no, on live television,
No, we'll take you off live television. I'll give you 10 minutes to check.
He could ask me about a case. I'm telling you, he has been a former minister, he has been a member of parliament. I'm not saying he has been removed from the party. He definitely
Does he
has been
hold
in the
any
party.
position in the party right now?
Not to my knowledge.
Does he hold any influence in the party right now?
Every Karyakarta of the party, whosoever is, he's influential that he serves the people of the country.
Sure. For sure.
All right, that answers my question.
But can you ask him about a case for which I have come, in fact?
No, I would ask about the case to an investigating officer. You're not the investigating officer.
Okay,
what would you
fine.
know about the case? Tell me
what
what
I
you
want
know.
to say is the SIT, as the Inspector General of SIT, Navneet Arora, today said that they are answerable to the court, and 23rd of September, all the things they have collected will be producing to Allahabad High Court. Now, secondly, again and again, your question has been that he should be put behind he should be put in jail. Now, the thing is, what SIT today said that they need solid evidence. So, I think the questions you are asking, the SIT has already answered that, when they get solid evidence, when, they have given a lot of data to the forensic science laboratory, let that data come from the science laboratory. They are verifying the CDR, all the mobile record.
You're speaking on behalf of the SIT?
No. I am speaking on behalf of what the UP police,
You're speaking on
SIT
behalf of the
said.
UP. Are you the official spokesperson of the UP
I am
police?
saying what has transpired. Faye D'Souza, you let the people know the truth.
But our
let the people
reporter
know the
has
truth.
already said
Why
what
should
is
people know
transpired?
what propaganda you want to let people know? The SIT on 23rd, people of India, SIT on 23rd is going to put all the evidence it has in front of Allahabad High Court. Allahabad High Court will take a call. SIT has said that whether to put him in jail or not will be based on all the solid evidence which will come once the forensic science laboratory and all the CDRs are they are all checked. So people should know what is that for any victim, and if any wrong has been done, the whole system works for the person. So hence, there is no, when your question that somebody is high and mighty, nobody is high and mighty. Only the Constitution of India, we all bow down. Every citizen of India is below the Constitution of India.
All right, let me just point out, first of all, Abhishek Mishra, I'm sitting right next to you. There's no reason to shout.
No, I'm not shouting.
And our microphones work really well.
I have to make the people understand the truth.
One second. Our microphones work really well. And sound systems on television right now are state of the art.
Yes.
So if you speak at a normal octane, people can still hear you. There's no need to shout.
That the truth will be found out 23rd of September. People of India, UP, the SIT made by the Supreme Court will report to the Allahabad High Court, and all should be rest assured that justice will be done. Please don't listen to Faye D'Souza saying that there's some high and mighty person of the Bharatiya Janata Party, etc. That's a propaganda.
If they didn't want to listen to Faye D'Souza, they would change the channel. You don't have to come onto the channel and tell them that, right? If you don't want to listen to me, change the channel. If you're still here, let me tell you that Chinmayanad is still a primary member of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Do you want to verify that and tell me? Because technically, as spokesperson, that is the only question you are qualified to answer tonight. Is he or is he not a member?
He has not been removed from the party. He has been a former union minister. He has been a former member of parliament. These three facts I can state.
You seem to think that you're on a different channel. Calm down. Take a deep breath.
And I have told you the reply. You same question you're asking. Let people know the truth. There are two FIs. Two people of India know that two FIs. One FI against the girl and a family. There is an FI against Mr. Swami Chinmayanand. So let us understand. Let the police investigate. The SIT is investigating what is the truth. The SIT IG today said we'll find out the truth from all angles. We want to go to court with all evidences possible. So it's been done. The justice has been done. You see, you trust our judiciary. The Supreme Court has made the investigating team here. Everything is going to happen. The justice will come out. And Shahjahanpur, she used to work with one of our member of parliament from. I don't want to name the member of parliament.
No, BJP please MP. Don't. I have no interest in your personal attacks.
So I'm just saying.
One second.
I knew her.
All right, if you've had
work for one of our BJP MPs.
I have no interest in who you know personally.
No, I'm saying she used to work for a BJP MP. I'm saying.
Don't make me cut your mic, Abhishek Mishra. Allow the other panelists to speak as well. Yogita Bayana, go ahead.
Yes, I've...
And I don't want to get into these personal accusations. Let's just please stay with the case.
And he should know that I work in the... Yes. Yes, because of that only, because I have some experience in dealing with women's safety, and these cases, whichever part of Delhi it comes from, I have to deal with them. That's how I must be meeting few people you are naming. But anyways, I just want to come to the point. This is how you dealt with the Kuldeep Singh Singer's case. This is how you are dealing with the other cases which are happening every night and day in Uttar Pradesh. This is how you are dealing with the cases. How do we know how you would reinstill the faith in us that yes, a fair investigation is taking place, and on 23rd, what will happen?
Yogita, you trust Supreme Court
don't
of India?
do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
This
Don't
is
do that.
all influenced, and I can really bet you that.
Right. Let me just take this back to Mr. Banerjee, who spoke to us earlier, Mr. A.L. Banerjee.
Yes, this was not the case.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Mr. Banerjee, if I'm not mistaken, in a rape law, as it was amended post the Nirbhaya case, because we felt as a country at that time that our rape laws were not strong enough. In the amended rape law, it says very clearly that the statement of the victim proves as enough evidence. In this case, the victim has not only given her statement to the police and to the SIT, she's given a statement to the magistrate, which means it is now permissible as evidence in court. On the basis of that evidence, as per the rape law, if this was an ordinary man who was not the member of any political party, shouldn't he by now have been arrested?
Faye, let me put it again this way. As Sharad unfortunately said that I only followed the book. Yes, I did only follow the rule in the book in this particular conversation which is taking place. And there is nothing else to it. Subsequently, he kept on saying certain other things. But let us be very frank. Whether this man is effective, non-effective, is influential, not influential, I just talked about the law. Yes, in the new rape law, what happens is that the burden of proof lies on the accused. That is one particular thing. Secondly, what happens is that this particular statement has to be made in a court. And once it's made in a court, she's made a court statement in a court under Section 164, which is to be taken on record by the investigating officers. Now, should it lead to arrest or not? Because everybody is asking for an arrest, or here the matter is coming up whether he should be arrested or not. The SIT chief, who is directly being supervised, or SIT which is being supervised by the High Court, which is under control of the Supreme Court, is going to look at the evidence available on 23rd, and thereafter it may decide. Whether the SIT decides to arrest this person before the 23rd, that depends on the forensics and the added evidence to it. So till 23rd, no, Sharad, I did not interrupt you.
I'm not interrupting you.
This is not fair.
I'm not
Let
saying
me
anything.
speak. I have said, just a second, I have said, no,
Yes, Mr. Banerjee, please
you are
finish.
trying to interrupt me.
Mr. Banerjee, please
Why are you
finish.
trying? No, I don't understand. Why do you try to interrupt me? Did I interrupt you?
What the hell? I'm not interrupting.
what I'm
No,
saying
one
is that
second. Mr.
between
Banerjee,
today-
that was not Sharad
between-
Pradhan. That was
No,
Abhishek
this
Mishra
is
in the
unfair.
studio
You
with
are
me who
prejudiced.
spoke. But you please
Sharad,
finish
you
your
are
statement.
prejudiced. What I'm saying is
Not
that
another word.
what I'm saying is that between today, Sharad, you are prejudiced. Please let me complete. Between
I did not
today and
utter a word.
23rd,
Okay, all right. Could we
in
just
case
could we
the
just
SIT
clear out the audio
believes
and allow Mr.
that-
Banerjee to finish? Yes, Mr. Banerjee,
Sharad,
go ahead.
I repeat, please do not interrupt me. Thank you. What I'm saying is that between today and 23rd, that is before even submitting the report, if the SIT finds sufficient evidence to go ahead and maybe arrest not only this gentleman, maybe somebody else also, they will do so. I don't think that is a hindrance, because let us be very frank.
Yes,
Here is a case which
Mr.
is directly being supervised by the Supreme Court.
Yes.
There is no interference
No,
of
I don't
any
believe
kind.
it's okay. So Mr. Banerjee, my problem here was with the statement
Yes.
of whether if they find sufficient evidence, and what I was saying was the victim's statement before a magistrate recorded in court of law, which is now admissible in court as evidence, should qualify as sufficient evidence. But let's move on to another point, and I'll give Mr. Sharad Pradhan an opportunity to respond.
It is part of evidence. It is part of evidence of what she said.
Okay. Mr. Pradhan, we know that when it comes to taking someone who is accused or a suspect into custody, when the trial or the investigation is still on, it is done for two reasons: to prevent the person from intimidating the victim or witnesses, or to prevent the person from destroying evidence. These are the two reasons, for example, and to also allow for proper questioning and interrogation. These are the reasons, for example, why P. Chidambaram has been sent back to jail again and continues to stay in Tihar jail, so he cannot intimidate anybody and he cannot change any of the or destroy any of the evidence. In this particular case, the young lady has also provided evidence to or accusations to the police saying that things from her hostel room went missing. Things, her camera, her chip were actually destroyed, that she is being intimidated. There was the first video said very clearly she and her family are being intimidated. Is that not reason enough to believe that if this man stays out of jail any longer, that he will destroy evidence and intimidate the witnesses? Mr. Pradhan.
Absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what should be, what the police should be working on. But the fact that they are not doing it makes it very, very obvious that they are under the undue influence of the people in power, and they are not ready to take action.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Pradhan, go ahead.
Well, because these are absolute double standards. I don't know which world is Mr. Banerjee living in, and I don't know from where did he hear my voice, because I never uttered a word. The fact that he is going on saying that I am prejudiced shows his prejudice. Never mind. His prejudice, well, for Swami Chinmayanand or for the police, whatever it is, or for the ruling dispensation, it is very obvious and very evident. So, and I didn't expect somebody like him. After all, he's the father of a girl also. So to have some compassion for the girl, I am shocked.
Okay.
I'm shocked at
Mr. Pradhan, absolutely, Mr. Pradhan. So the deadline of the 23rd expires on Monday. We're on Thursday today, so it's 4 days away. We have Dr. Arya on the phone line from Delhi with a comment. Dr. Arya, go ahead.
Good evening, madam. And in fact, I am getting this opportunity after a long time to talk to these panelists. First of all, I will straight away say on the human angle that BJP spokesperson, if we start feeling that if she could be our daughter or our sister or anything, then we should be very sensitive to it. This is the first thing. The second thing is this DGP might not be having a complete hand on the law as such. He knows bit of the
no, so Mr. Arya, Dr. Arya, I'm afraid that's not fair. Mr. Banerjee served as DGP of Uttar Pradesh, so I wouldn't at this point entertain comments on personal comments on the panel. If you had a point to make, then you could have. But let me move on because I'm running out of time. Abhishek Mishra, you had a point to make. Go ahead.
Yeah, to make a point with regards to the law, you again referring to the 164 statement for another magistrate. On that, I think I want to just tell your viewers, and you also should understand that that statement is a confidential statement made in front of magistrate. The copy, the DGP, I think is ready to understand. The copy is given to the investigating officer in inside envelope. Nobody else knows it. You do not know it. I do not know it. Nobody knows it. What she has told the magistrate, only the magistrate knows and the IO knows. Now, based on that statement, the IO has to read and apply his own discrimination and discretion, and then decide what next course of action. And he'll also mention that statement in the report to the High Court. So when you do not know what she has said in the statement to magistrate, it is officially a confidential document only known to the magistrate and the IO. So please do not make presumptions. Let the IO apply his mind. Let him do his constitutional duty and let him show it to the High Court. I think DGP will also agree with what I'm saying. Right. I have some experience, of trying to always solve people, in this.
All right, we've run out of time on this particular conversation, and I just want to point out that the deadline for the investigating team, the SIT or the Special Investigative Team, expires on Monday. So they will have to submit a report on Monday, and we will know what that report is on Monday. In the meantime, our thoughts and prayers are with the young girl and her family, and we hope that they're okay over the next 4 days. We will track this case very, very closely because we've seen cases like this in the past where the accused is not just rich and powerful, also has considerable influence over the establishment. And the victim here is much younger, is of limited financial means, and is a woman. This is a case that should mean a great deal to all of us. And we hope that justice is done. Moving on now to Jammu and Kashmir. With no internet services in the Kashmir Valley, the students have missed out on crucial entrance tests to various college courses. Many have also missed out on important updates on exam dates, while others have had trouble downloading admission cards. The state administration claims that internet kiosks have been set up at the district level, but parents tell us that it's too small an initiative to be of any help to the thousands and the lakhs of students in the state right now.
इंफॉर्मेशन ब्लॉकेट का जहां तक ताल्लुक है, इसने हकीकत यही है, जैसा आप भी जानते हैं कि इसने एजुकेशन सेक्टर पे भी काफ़ी असर डाला है। बच्चे ऑनलाइन पढ़ा करते थे, ऑनलाइन मटेरियल आया करते थे और काफ़ी हद तक मुस्तफ़ीद होते थे इन बातों से, लेकिन आजकल तो वो फैसिलिटी नहीं है, नंबर एक। नंबर दो, जहाँ तक मुख्तलिफ पेशा वराना कॉलेजों का ताल्लुक है, उन्होंने ऑनलाइन फॉर्म्स अवेलेबल रखे हैं और बाकी सारा जो भी होता है, तो उसके लिए डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तरफ से यहाँ हमारे ज़िला इस्लामाबाद में या उमूमी तो हर एक ज़िले में जो फैसिलिटीज़ रखी गई है वो काफ़ी कम है और बच्चों को काफ़ी दुश्वारियाँ पेश आती हैं। तो इस सिलसिले में मुझे लगता है कि इस वक्त जो हमारे कायदीन हैं, किसी भी फ़िरके से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, उनको मुतहरिक होकर इस बात पे, इस संजीदा मसले पे गौर करना चाहिए और देखना चाहिए कि हम क्या कुछ कर सकते हैं ताकि इन बच्चों का मुस्तकबिल जो है वो किसी हद तक हम सिक्योर कर सकते हैं।
जहाँ तक बच्चों का सवाल है, तो तालीम एक ऐसी चीज़ है जिसका नुकसान किसी तरीके से टाइम के लिहाज से हम मांगे तो ये पूरा नहीं हो सकता। बिकॉज अगर आज हमने कोई चीज़ बेचनी है, अगर कल बेचेंगे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं। अगर हमने आज कुछ पढ़ना है, वो कल पढ़ेंगे तो बराबरी नहीं हो सकती। बिकॉज एक एग्ज़ाम से लेकर दूसरे एग्ज़ाम तक एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम मिलता है एक बच्चे को और उस पर्टिकुलर टाइम में उसको एक पर्टिकुलर सिलेबस कवर करना है और उसमें एक दिन, एक घंटा, एक मिनट, इवन एक सेकंड भी बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, खासतौर से उन बच्चों के लिए वो हैव टू कम्पीट नेशनली और इंटरनेशनली एट डिफरेंट एग्जाम्स। तो उस हिसाब से मुझे लगता है कि मतलब बहुत बड़ा नुकसान है बच्चों के लिए।